Throughout the ages, humans have contemplated the paths to success and excellence in relationships, personal development, and social leadership. History has never been devoid of profound concepts related to setting limits, knowing when to stop relentless pursuit, and reflecting on the value of things in our lives. True wisdom lies in the ability to read the signs of time and adopt a philosophical vision that shows strength is not in excess, but in moderation, and that genuine greatness comes from within, without the need for grand external display. In this text, we explore a set of timeless principles. Do not overstep boundaries. Know when to stop. Despise free things. They are hidden traps. Create an aura of mystery around yourself. Be unpredictable in your actions. Never appear too perfect or superior to others. Each of these rules is not a mere superficial piece of advice, but the result of historical experiences, stories, and tales that inspired leaders, philosophers, scientists, and artists throughout the centuries. We will delve into their meanings through a rich, philosophical, and metaphorical narrative, accompanied by real historical stories of individuals such as Julius Caesar, Napoleon Bonaparte, Leonardo da Vinci, and others, who left an eternal mark on the legacy of humanity. This project aims to offer a reflective journey into self-awareness and behavior, establishing refined conduct that overcomes vanity and grants life a deeper human dimension that reflects evolved wisdom and self-awareness. Rule 41. Do not overstep boundaries. Know when to stop. Introduction. Setting boundaries is the cornerstone of a balanced and mature personality. Not exceeding limits signifies respect for oneself and for others, and understanding that every situation has its proper level of power and moderation. In a world full of conflict and limitless ambitions, self-discipline becomes the key that allows us to move steadily without falling into the trap of excess that leads to collapse. True intelligence lies in the momentary reading of events and recognizing the right time to retreat before ambitions become a destructive force. The story. Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar remains one of the most prominent military and political leaders in Roman history. Despite his military genius and strategic brilliance, at a certain stage in his journey, he was affected by arrogance, bred by repeated successes. He began to overextend his authority without consideration for the sentiments and aspirations of those around him. The sentiments and aspirations of those around him, ultimately resulting in his assassination. This was a bitter lesson, that overstepping limits, even if seemingly a means to build a mighty empire, can carry the seeds of self-destruction and collective ruin. Understanding boundaries are not a shameful constraint, but a framework that preserves personal dignity and societal harmony. Knowing when to stop is a core aspect of wisdom. It is a graceful response that turns strength into a sustainable success rather than an overwhelming force that threatens balance. Leadership, grounded in restraint and moderation, understands that every step has consequences and every excess demands a counterbalance. Moral. The takeaway is that self-confidence and success should not translate into the over-display of power. True leadership is not measured by reckless ambition, but by the ability to pause and assess the impact of one's actions. Wisdom lies in realizing that real power is found in discipline and balance, even when the path is fraught with challenges. Rule 42. Despise free things. They are hidden traps. Introduction. Life often tempts us with offers that seem like gifts from fate, but behind them often lie intricately crafted traps meant to ensnare the mind and drain one's will. What comes free tends to be shadowed by hidden costs that scatter the seeds of dependency and weaken the will to confront challenges. In a world where the value of effort and struggle fluctuates, the idea of rejecting free things becomes a strategy for liberation from dependency and embracing the dignity of earned value. The story, the free lunch trap in business. The old saying goes, "There's no such thing as a free lunch." This proved true in the 1980s when a sharp executive of a global company offered a generous proposal: free consulting services for a whole month to attract new talent. Initially, it was seen as a brilliant, inspiring move. However, over time, employees realized that this free service had become a trap. The company grew reliant on unpaid input and failed to invest in the proper training and development of its staff. This led to a decline in quality and productivity. The experience taught everyone involved that real value is not free. It is earned through genuine investment. Understanding the lesson from that company reveals that what seems free often carries hidden psychological or practical costs. The allure of receiving without giving can foster passive dependence and hinder growth. Thus, true value lies in investment and the conscious decision to pay the real price of growth. Moral: the wise person avoids falling blindly into the trap of free offerings. They understand that dignity is not measured by what is freely given, but by what is earned. Achievements that come through effort free us from the snares that might otherwise limit our freedom and evolution. Ultimately, experience shows that true success is bought with personal investment and self-reliance. Rule 43. Create an aura of mystery around yourself. Introduction. Mystery is a clever veil that hovers above daily details, behind which shines a subtle power and charm. Creating an aura of mystery is not deception or flattery. It is an art of influence and leadership that centers attention without excessive self-display. Mystery opens the door to interpretation and wonder, offering intellectual delight and curiosity, turning the individual into a figure of fascination and depth. The story. Leonardo da Vinci. Leonardo da Vinci emerged as one of history's greatest artists and inventors, and the mystery surrounding his personality greatly contributed to his legendary status. He kept many aspects of his work and research hidden, prompting contemporaries to wonder at the sharpness of his genius and his enigmatic methods. He was more than a painter or engineer. He was a symbol of the contrast between knowledge and wonder, sparking philosophical inquiry and admiration for centuries. His mysterious presence inspired generations, proving that profound creativity often thrives not in what is explained, but in what remains open to interpretation. Understanding. Creating mystery is not escaping reality. It's a deliberate strategy that turns the individual into a mirror, reflecting deep, hidden thoughts, increasing intrigue and influence. Like a painting woven from threads of secrets and subtle hints, mystery invites reflection and discovery, much like Da Vinci's works, which continue to provoke thought long after his time. Moral: the takeaway is that excessive self-exposure or revealing all your secrets diminishes your personal allure. Mystery, on the other hand, builds an image rich in creativity and depth. Keeping certain things to oneself allows for lasting influence, not through overt knowledge, but by inspiring others to delve deeper into thought and meaning. Rule 44. Be unpredictable in your actions. Introduction. In a world governed by patterns and predictable behavior, surprise becomes an invaluable weapon. Acting in unexpected ways opens doors to change and challenges perceptions. It is a potent means to create strategic shifts in social and political relationships. Defying expectations creates creative and transformative opportunities that enrich both individual character and their environment. The story: Napoleon Bonaparte. Napoleon Bonaparte, one of history's most brilliant military leaders, mastered the use of surprise to dismantle enemy forces. In numerous battles, including the famous Battle of Austerlitz, he relied on unconventional strategies that caught his enemies off guard, turning the tide in his favor. His out-of-the-box thinking became a model for those who see boldness and innovation as essential to achieving remarkable results. Understanding: the element of surprise challenges the human mind's desire for stability. When the pattern is broken, new opportunities and transformations emerge. Napoleon's experience shows that unpredictability is not a reckless gamble, but a calculated tactic that allows individuals to surpass others' expectations and shape their own destiny. Moral: sticking to predictable patterns can restrict potential and foster stagnation. The courage to break norms and act unpredictably is a powerful step toward uniqueness and innovation. It urges others to rethink their ways and ignites creativity. Thus, unpredictability becomes a key player in changing outcomes, whether in politics, business, or personal life. Rule 45. Never appear to outshine others too much. Introduction. In a world that idolizes success and achievement, excessive self-praise can backfire. Flaunting superiority often provokes envy and resentment, diminishing the value of the accomplishment itself. True excellence stems from a quiet internal force that asserts itself without fanfare. Humility is the mask that shields one's brilliance, allowing respect to grow naturally. The story: Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson, one of the founding fathers of the United States, exemplified how to maintain humility despite immense achievements. As a major contributor to the ideals of liberty and democracy, Jefferson was known for his modest demeanor and thoughtful interaction with others. He believed ideas and visions should speak for themselves without the need for loud assertion. This humility made him a model of intellectual and political leadership, admired for his quiet strength. Understanding: balanced displays of excellence require a deep awareness that true worth is not in what is shown, but what is contained within. Humility in presenting achievements reflects intellectual and emotional maturity, and an understanding that one's success is part of a collective journey. Overexposure, on the other hand, often invites criticism and undermines relationships. Moral: the lesson is that genuine success does not require loud proclamation. A person who contains their brilliance without flaunting it earns lasting respect and trust. Discreet presentation of accomplishments reflects a strong, inwardly confident personality. Hence, modesty is the safest path to building a solid and enduring legacy. In this section, we explored elevated codes of conduct that contribute to shaping a balanced individual who values discipline and deep awareness. Through stories of historical figures and philosophical reflections, we discovered that sustainable success does not rely on external display, but on internal liberation and a balance between boldness and restraint. Every historical experience and every impactful figure confirms that true value lies in one's humanity and clarity of mind before outward appearances.